When did you first start training with martial arts? How old were you?
I started training in Filipino martial arts when I was 13 years old.
What is the name of your school?
Filipino Combatives Global.
Mm-hmm. What kind of weapons do you work?
We do single stick, double stick, sword, sword and knife, espadaga.
Mm-hmm.
General Filipino martial arts weapons.
Mm-hmm.
You know, flexible weapons, long weapons, short weapons, bladed weapons.
Thank you very much. How do you think? What is the basis of martial arts?
The basis?
Yes.
To develop discipline,
Mm-hmm.
self-control, awareness, physical conditioning. And it all incorporates together, you know, the mind with the body.
What is the history of appearance of your school?
Well, I've been training martial arts for many years. I never thought that I would have a school or open a school. I just trained because I like it.
Mm-hmm.
And I got promoted to the rank of master instructor, Tuhon, in 1991. And then I also do taekwondo.
Mm-hmm.
So I was offered a job teaching at a school. And after 1 year, that's when I was inspired for working for someone else to open my own school.
Thank you very much. Can you share with us what is the difference between your school from other schools?
What is the difference? I guess the somewhat of the difference is that besides keeping the tradition of the art, I try to focus more on being very basic and direct.
Okay. Can you tell us, is psychology important when we work with weapons such as stick, knife, sword?
Yeah, psychology is important because you have to implement the mind along with the body in order to reach a high level of understanding of your techniques. A technique can be as basic as your understanding.
Mm-hmm.
So you can take something that is very simple, and with your knowledge of how to do these things, it could be very advanced.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's important, the psychology, understanding the techniques that you train.
What kind of weapon do you prefer to work?
I prefer like the single stick, because I like to do demonstrations and forms and kind of be like showmanship. For combatives, then definitely more the knife. But for show, more like single stick, double stick, because it's very, very flashy, very cinematic.
How do you think? Why so many people today desire to learn stick?
I think because they can incorporate it into their system. Like if they train in another martial art, the Filipino martial arts is very, they can adapt it to whatever they do. If it's karate or if it's, different martial arts. Most people, they are like cross training. They're mixing it. So Filipino martial arts is very adaptive. You can do with the empty hands. You can do with the stick. You can do the grappling. Military are interested in it because of the usage of the knives.
Do you have your own methodology of teaching of stick? How does it look?
I'm not sure I can explain how it looks. The methodology is instead of learning 10 things, right? Instead of learning 10 different things. And I like to teach one thing and apply it 10 ways versus 10 things in one way. Does that make sense? For example, let's say I learn 10 techniques, right? I learned 10 techniques. Now I have to remember 10 each technique. And then I have to remember how to do each technique. That's, for some people, it's okay. But for me, I think it's more effective. You learn one technique, and then you learn how to apply it, that 10 different ways. Right? And then you focus more on developing the technique than remembering a lot of different things. Yeah, the methodology is to be simple and effective.
Yes.
Because in a moment of stress, in a moment when you're attacked, you don't do the most fancy moves. You do the most direct and effective so you can leave and be safe.
Could you share with us about steps of teaching in your system? For example, one person comes to you and asks you, please teach me. How do you start to work with him?
We start with all the classes start with learning the salutations, like pay respects, right? Then we do warm-ups, calisthenics. I think that the physical fitness is very important because we go from warm-ups, we do footwork, then we focus on basic stick techniques.
Thank you very much. How many times does a person need to become a master?
Oh wow! Yeah, to become a master is many things are involved. It depends on the hours of training. So let's say somebody trains 1 day a week for 10 years, or you train 5 days a week for 10 years. You see, so it depends on how many hours or how often the person is training, that they can maybe reach a level of proficiency or level of mastery. So it's not like specifically say I train 15 years and I'm a master, because if I train more often, then maybe I can achieve a higher level in a short amount of time.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, so it's dedication, commitment, and also like loyalty.
Can you tell, please, how looks tactics and strategy in your system, about self-defense in your system?
Well, there's no one specific way.
Yes.
Because it depends on the situation. So training is based on a situational type of training. It depends on who you're confronting. If it's more than one person, and then also laws. In some places you have to focus, on the laws, because a lot of times people teach, you stab and you kill and you do this and you do that, and that's okay if you want to go to jail for the rest of your life. But you have to also consider who you're training. If it's a regular person, if it's a police, a law enforcement, or if it's military. So I can teach one technique to the public, right? I can teach the same technique to police with the guidelines of their limitations, and then you can teach the technique more lethal to someone that's military that will have to be more confronted in a situation where they have to perhaps kill somebody.
I understand.
You have to have this responsibility that you just, it's not just one way. It depends who you're teaching as far as tactics.
How you start your teaching?
Okay. Um, the way I started is with memory drills, and I break everything up into sections. For example, if I have a template that has 12 moves, then I teach the first 3 and how to focus on how to do those 3 many ways. Then you add the next 3 until we complete the 12. This way you have a higher understanding, not just of the 12 complete moves, but every move in between. For example, if I teach strike 1, strike 2, and strike 3, once you learn that, then we learn how to do strike 3, strike 2, strike 1, right?
Yes.
Then we learn strike 1, strike 3, strike 2, and then we do each combination of every move. So if it's 1, 2, 3, then it will be 1, 3, 2, 2, 1, 3, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2, or 3, 2, 1. You see, so 1, 2, 3 is many, many combinations. So you go 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's basic. Then we go 1, 3, 2. Now we develop a different flow. Still the same moves. So I do that with every combination, and then that becomes like one whole. That's why it's 1, 2, 3 is very basic. But if we go and combine it, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, 2, 1, 3, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2, 2, right? Then it becomes, whoa, now it's, because of your understanding, it becomes more like an advance.
Yes.
Yeah. So someone new, I teach them the very basics and then start from there to building up. So even you can be a beginner learning an advanced understanding to develop it, the mind, as well as you're developing, the body, the moves.
Can you tell, please, how many levels of teaching are in your school?
Yeah, they're generally, there's 3 levels, right? And then each levels have stages. So let's say level 1 has 3 stages. Then level 2 has 3 stages, and level 3 has 3 stages. So it's 3 levels, and then within the levels there are stages. So if you count it all together, let's say before you reach like a black belt or instructor level, is like would say like 10. But it's 3 levels divided into stages.
Okay, can I ask you, can you tell more about these stages?
Right, yeah. Like let's say first level has 3 stages. So the first stage would be to learn the moves. The second stage would be, or the first stage is memorizing the techniques. The second stage would be to learn to apply the techniques, right? Application. And then the third stage would be how to teach it to someone else. Because there are also techniques for teaching. There's techniques for teaching, because if I have 3 different students, right?
Yes.
And each student may learn a different way. So I teach or develop the student how to teach different people. If someone doesn't understand, right, you figure why they don't understand and how you can help so they can also be successful.
It is on the first level, yes?
Yeah, and in all levels.
Ah, I understand.
In all levels, yes. It's the same process for all levels. Then the next level will be maybe a different set of, maybe it's 2 sticks, maybe it's espadaga, maybe we're working on empty hands, Panantukan. But the first stage is always to learn, memorize the moves, to learn the moves. Then it's to apply the moves, and then also to how to teach the moves for instructors. If you're training to develop to become an instructor, then this is very important. If you're just training for yourself for fighting, then you don't need to learn how to teach if you're only focusing on combat or fighting or if you don't plan to be an instructor, then you really don't need to learn how to teach, right? Because teaching is a whole, like a science to it.
What is the perfect logical model of stick fighting for you?
I think principles is that I would say no matter what you learn, focus on the basics. Like I think that in any martial arts, everyone wants to learn something great, something magical, some special move. And to me, the special moves are the basics.
Can you tell, please, what is the best tactic to win a fight?
Well, I like to say, be fast, be first. Right?
Yes.
Be fast and be before the person. If you see like a situation that maybe you need to defend yourself, then to react fast, be first, be effective. Plus, perfection. I don't think that there's like a perfection, because you're always growing, you're always learning. Like if you reach perfection, then where do you go? So when you get like to a level of perfection, and to me, I say, well, what's next? What's after that? So you're always growing and learning.
Thank you very much. Can you tell us, please, when you work with sticks, how there is a different sticks or no? And how size are sticks?
Yeah, when we train with sticks, it can be anywhere from like maybe 3 inches to 36, 40 inches. I don't know in centimeters, but in inches, it could be from short stick to long sticks, because the stick is only an extension of the hand. Right, and then but with each size stick, because of maybe the weight and size, then there's certain ways that you have to learn to manipulate and move the stick. Can
you tell, please, there is a fight in your system between stick and knife?
It's not like something that's common that we do. Like stick and knife, but yeah, a fight can be a stick and bow staff, or it could be a knife and a chain. It could be any combination. It could be stick and empty hands, or knife and empty hands. So yeah, you have to train and adapt to different situations.
And last questions. What you can tell us to the watchers in the end of program?
Well, I think that all martial arts are good. I think that you have to find, if you're looking to train in the martial arts, to find something, that maybe fits you or your personality. The attraction of Filipino martial arts is because of the many weapons and things that we do, a lot of people are attracted to it. But all martial arts are good. It's the individual and how they apply themselves.